I've done in the wolves.
You did it! Thank Innos. But now I still don't know how to tell Onar that all those sheep are gone. It's all that damn Bulko's fault.
What did you say about Bulko?
He's one of the mercenaries. It was actually his job to guard the pasture. But instead, he and his pal Silvio hang around Thekla in the kitchen all day. It's that bastard's fault if I don't get paid for weeks because of the lost sheep. I wish I could at least punch him in the mouth for it, but nobody stands a chance against him. The guy's a killer.
Hey! Everything all right?
Ah, an unfamiliar wanderer. I am very busy, so what do you want?
What are you doing here?
Well, the things a woodcutter and hunter usually do.
What interesting things are there to see here?
Interesting is well put. If you go deeper into the woods here, you'll run into some very evil fellows. They're about 10 feet tall, hairy, and in a really bad mood. So don't go there if you're not strong enough for them.
Can you teach me something about hunting?
Sure, but first get me something decent to eat. I'm dying of hunger out here. I want a bottle of milk, a loaf of bread, and a fat ham. Then I'll teach you what you want.
Here's the food you wanted.
Fantastic. And now?
Halt! You can't go through here.
I want to talk to your leader.
Oh, I see. You want to talk to my boss. Well, then of course I'll let you through. But only if you know his name. Because if you don't, I'll be obliged to kill you. Well?
Dexter.
Well, I guess you know the boss. Okay, I'll let you through. But I'm warning you, you get too close to anybody, you won't get out of here alive. So take a deep breath and leave your weapons where they are. You'll find Dexter in the house.
I couldn't get away with that. I don't want to hear that.
Look who's here, the great emancipator. Well, hero, what are you doing here?
I'm looking for a few answers. Someone is passing around pieces of paper with my face on them. Someone told me it's you.
Somebody talks too much, but it's true. I gave my boys the wanted posters. I didn't have any other choice. When I tried to escape from the Valley of Mines, the soldiers discovered me and drove me into a trap. I thought I was done for, but then suddenly this figure appeared out of the darkness. He wore a black robe with a hood and a mask over his face, and he spoke with a voice that was altogether not human. But he offered me his help. He brought me out of the valley and offered me 1,000 gold pieces for your head. Hey, what was I supposed to do? If I'd turned him down, he'd have killed me.
Where can I find this man?
I think he's somewhere in the Valley of Mines.
And what do you intend to do now? Kill me?
Yeah, but you set us all free. That's why I'm giving you another chance. Beat it. Disappear. Make yourself invisible. Go and don't cross my path again. If I see you around here again, I won't hesitate to kill you.
Anything's possible.
Nobody wants to know.
You already know that. Anything's possible.
You just have to listen.
For my opinion,
That'll never change.
really didn't deserve that.
Better off myself.
Hey,
I couldn't care less.
where do you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
Onar pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
You don't have to tell me that.
What do you want from him?
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Fresh cannon fodder. Then go on in. Lee's in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else. But above all, leave Onar alone. He doesn't like it when people talk to him without being asked. Especially not guys like you.
That's the truth.
Who let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm?
Really didn't deserve.
Thanks to Bulko, you now have a few sheep less.
And what are you talking about? Who is Bolko?
One of the mercenaries.
How would that interest me? If he's been after my sheep, he'll have to answer to Lee. So why are you bugging me with such trivial details?
Know that. So why won't they listen to me?
Who the devil let you in here? What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
What makes you think that?
Gorn told me it was you who brought down the barrier.
Yes, that was me, all right.
I never would have thought that a man could survive something like that. What brings you here? You aren't here without a reason.
I absolutely must talk to the paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the paladins?
That's a long story.
I've got time.
Zardoz sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
How can you help me get to the paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the paladins, and you'll do me a favor, but first, join us.
What exactly are you doing here?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions. And the less the paladins have to eat, the sooner they'll listen when I finally make them an offer of peace.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
Sure.
He got caught by the paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with paladins and orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
Onar now has a few sheep less thanks to Bulko.
Oh, leave me alone with that shit. I've had enough trouble as it is.
I want to join you.
I'd hope you say that. I can use every able man here. The last mercenaries I accepted have done nothing but stir up trouble. In principle, you can start right away. Well, first there's one or two things we need to get straight, but it's no big deal.
What do I have to get straight before I can join you?
Onar, the landowner, is the one who employs us. You can only stay on the farm with his approval. And then there's the boys. I can only accept you if a majority of the mercenaries agree that you join us. But don't go to Onar before everything is straightened out. He's a very impatient fellow.
How can I convince the mercenaries to vote me in?
By doing what is expected of you as a mercenary, I should say. Talk to Torloff. He's usually outside in front of the house. He'll put you to the test. If you can pass that, you should have earned a large part of the necessary respect. He'll tell you everything else you need to know.
Tell me that isn't true.
That's the first I've heard
I
of it.
never knew that.
I can't help it. You don't have to tell me that.
He never would have thought of that himself.
That would be a problem. And there's more. Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
That's all just gossip.
What are you doing here in my kitchen?
Something smells delicious here.
Oh, yes. I know the likes of you. They're swarming all over the place. First, they try to get on your good side, and then when you need them, they're nowhere to be seen.
I'm hungry.
I don't dish out food to tramps. I only feed people who work. And that mercenary riffraff, of course.
I'm looking for work.
You want to work here on the farm? Only Onar can decide that. The farm is his, and so is the entire valley.
Actually, I was planning to join the mercenaries.
So you're another of those felons from the penal colony? I might have known. Just leave me alone. There's already enough of your kind around here.
What's your problem with the mercenaries?
Ah, those morons really get on my nerves, especially Silvio and his fat buddy Bulko. The two of them have been sitting in their corner for days now, making life miserable for me. The soup's too hot, the meat's too tough, etc. and so forth.
Then why don't you do anything about it?
And what am I to do, Mr. Smarty Pants? Whack them with my rolling pin? I can do that to the farmers, but these lowly bastards just hit back.
Want me to teach the two of them some manners?
You better not try that, honey. As far as I know, Silvio has magic armor. He can't be defeated.
And what about Bulko?
That guy is as strong as an ox. So far, he has flattened anyone who tried to mess with him or Silvio.
I need a place to sleep.
Don't even think about sleeping in my kitchen. Go find yourself a place in the barn.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Right. What do you want?
I want to become a mercenary.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Where's the problem?
Well, I either have to vote for you or against you. And in the situation we're in, I'll only vote for you if I can be sure that you're on Lee's side.
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. Two factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
How come there are two factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then, but some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the orcs. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Silvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city. He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here and wants to take advantage of the situation, plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. But Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
So what should I do?
Simple. Beat up a few of Silvio's boys. That way both sides will know exactly where you stand. And if you stick to the rules for a duel, you'll even win the respect of the others.
What are the rules for a duel?
Go to Torloff and let him explain it if you're interested. Just so we understand each other. I don't care if you stick to the rules or not, just as long as the boys wind up out cold in the mud.
Which of the mercenaries are Silvio's men?
There are 6 men. First of all, Silvio himself and his right-hand man, Bulko. Then there's Rod, Sentenza, Fester, and Raoul. The rest of the people are either neutral or on Lee's side.
How many of Silvio's people should I defeat?
If you knock 3 of them to the ground, then you've proven which side you're on. Whom you choose is your business. Just one little hint. This isn't about proving your courage. Don't go up against Silvio himself. He'll make mincemeat out of you.
It has come to my attention that you have it in for my boys. And as far as I know, you're one of Lee's protégés. I'm warning you, a few things are going to be different around here soon, and we'll talk about this again then.
We need to talk, you and I.
What do you want?
I think the best thing would be if you didn't show your face on the farm anymore. See to it that you're gone by tomorrow. We understand each other.
Does the name Pepe ring a bell?
I don't get a word of what you're blathering about, but I don't like your tone.
You were supposed to guard his sheep.
What do I care about his sheep?
Lee cares about them.
What are you getting at?
If you keep getting on my nerves, I'll see to it that you are made to pay for the sheep. So if you're at all interested in your pay, leave me alone from now on.
You!
Yes?
Wretched little lowlife.
Thekla has a problem with you.
So, what is the dear lady's problem? And why doesn't she come herself?
You know that damn well.
Why don't you go discuss that with my friend Bulko for a while?
Hey, asshole!
You don't actually think I'd get involved in a duel with you? Go crawl back under your rock.
Silvio doesn't like being talked to. You might have gathered as much by now.
That's the first I've heard of it. Nothing amazes me anymore.
And now for the
Where'd you pick that up?
Finish him!
It's all disgusting.